The year of the Panther began on this field on the first day of August. That's when second-year coach Larry Henderson greeted 17 Lettermen who were returning from a team that was just 3-7 in 1982. The Panthers had been picked as one of the better squads in the South Alabama area, as witnessed by the first TV10 rankings of the year, but nobody envisioned what lie ahead. Murphy kicked off the year in Bay Minette with a 35-6 victory over Baldwin County High School. It was in that game that a super sophomore, Michael Pierce, made his presence felt. Pierce rushed for 202 yards on 22 carries. This is the way TV10 followed the Murphy Panthers through the 1983 season. Second-ranked Murphy and McGill locked horns at Ladd Stadium tonight. We have second quarter action from this game. Murphy in the dark uniform. Safety Rodney Jones picks off this McGill pass, and he returns it 36 yards to the 10-yard line. Good-looking run down that right side by Rodney Jones. 2 plays later, Todd Abrams busts up the middle to give the Panthers a 12-0 lead. They're now late in the fourth quarter, and it's 27-3 in favor of Murphy. Okay, the high school football season is now 3 weeks old, and the top 4 teams in our TV top 10 remain the same. They've been up there all year. Fairhope still number 1. Murphy, Theodore, Foley, all coming on strong. Williamson slides into 5th this week. BC Rain drops to 6th. Davidson and LaFleur both move back into the top 10. Citronelle slides up a spot. Blunt and Mary Montgomery bringing up the rear. We didn't have room to put them in capital letters. First up, we got a couple of big high school football games involving local teams around the state. It was a battle of 2 TV10 top 10 teams at Pritchard Stadium tonight. Second-ranked Murphy, 10th-ranked Blunt. Let's go to the action. First quarterback Todd Abrams goes upstairs to John Gates, a 10-yard pass. Murphy takes a 7-zip lead in the first quarter. Now, the play of the game, I want you to watch this. Super soft Michael Pierce on the draw. Up the middle, cuts outside. Look at him go. He puts it into high gear. A 60-yard run, 13-0 Murphy. One of 4 touchdowns for Pierce tonight. At last report, there was less than a minute remaining, and Murphy led in that game 32-0. Now, we're going to go to football now, where we have some changes in our TV10 top 10 high school football rankings tonight. They all start right at the top, where Murphy has moved into a first-place tie with Fairhope. Both teams unbeaten, both looking good at this point in the season. Tough to pick a first-place team this week. Williamson slides into 3rd. Foley is 4th. BC Rain 5th. Viger leads the second 5 tonight, followed by Theodore, Davidson, Mary Montgomery, and Citronelle. Let's check out the Panthers now, for they put their unbeaten record on the line at Ladd Stadium against a LaFleur team that's kind of been up and down so far this year. The defensive play of the night now, Charlie Kimbrough, defensive end for Murphy, picks up that LaFleur fumble, and look at him go. He's off to the races, 51 yards to the Rattler end zone, and that made it 17-0 Murphy early in the second quarter. Midway through the period, Melvin Pierce scored his 10th TD of the season on that 9-yard run, 24-zip Panthers. It's now 31-0 late in the final quarter. Fairhope and Murphy continue to be the top 2 teams in the TV10 top 10 high school football rankings. The Pirates are 5-0, the Panthers 4-0. Neither has been severely tested so far. Foley slides into 3rd this week, followed by BC Rain and Theodore. Davidson leads the bottom 5 with Williamson 7th, Mary Montgomery 8th, and Viger 9th. Citronelle and unbeaten St. Paul's are tied for 10th. And along with Murphy, they jumped out to a 26-0 first-half lead over Davidson at Ladd Stadium tonight. Let's roll the tape in that game with the Panthers on top 7-zip. Michael Pierce gets the call, fights his way into the end zone. Look at this. He breaks 4 tackles, his 13th touchdown of the season. 14-0 Murphy. He had 125 yards rushing in the first half. Game has just ended. Murphy won big, 40-0. Unbeaten, Fairhope and Murphy continue to fight it out for the top spot in the TV10 top 10 high school football poll. Pirates now rolling along. They're 6-0 on the year. The Panthers 5-0. The next 3 teams in the poll hold their positions this week, but the next 3 all move up. Viger is 7th, Citronelle 8th, St. Paul's 9th, Mary Montgomery and Davidson both fall into the basement this week. Tonight we'll start with high school football, where unbeaten Murphy tangled with winless Shaw at Mary Montgomery's field in Semmes tonight. First quarter action now. Murphy leading at this point 2-zip. Quarterback Todd Abrams goes around the right end, and he gets through from a couple tacklers. 5-yard score, 8-0, favor of Murphy. Midway through the second quarter, Paul Davenport goes down the sideline, a nifty 25-yard run into the end zone, 16-0 Murphy. We don't have a final, but at last report, they'd gotten a safety after that, and they were leading 18-0 right before the half. The first 5 teams in the TV10 Top 10 High School Football rankings remain the same this week. Fairhope and Murphy continue to lead the pack. Both are unbeaten. Foley is third, followed by BC Rain and Theodore. The next 3 all move up 1 spot. Viger, Citronelle, and unbeaten St. Paul's. Williamson drops to 9th, and Baker makes an initial appearance in 10th. First in Theodore, it was the 5-1 Bobcats hosting tough, unbeaten Murphy. Roll the tape. First quarter action. Michael Pierce bowls his way into the end zone. A 5-yard run, 6-zip Panthers. Then with 1:50 remaining in the quarter, Pierce with another touchdown, his 17th of the season, made it 13-0 Panthers. The game has just ended. Murphy shuts out Theodore 14-0 to remain unbeaten. Around there, the Murphy Panthers playing tonight ran their record to an unbeaten 8-0 with a 28-7 win over Williamson. Let's roll the tape from Ladd Stadium. First quarter action. Whoops, that's the wrong tape, guys. That's a Shaw pep rally from earlier today. If you hold, there we go. No, that's not it either. Let's dump that tape. Anyway, Murphy rolled to a 28-7 win over Williamson at Ladd Stadium tonight. Panthers now 8-0 on the season. Fairhope and Murphy will fight it out for first place in the TV10 Top 10 High School Football rankings Friday night. But for tonight, they remain tied for the top spot for the 6th consecutive week. Foley is still third, but Theodore and BC Rain trade places. Viger is 6th once again this week with unbeaten St. Paul's. Baker and Citronelle all moving up a notch. Williamson drops from 8th to 10th.
Ron says it was a terrific football game tonight.
Great game, and we'll keep everybody in suspense till the end of the show. No, we really can't do that. The only thing, I didn't get to see the game now, but Eric is over there live. We're going to go to him in just a second. But it was the game of the year in 4A play along the Gulf Coast. It took place on the eastern shore of Mobile Bay tonight. Murphy versus Fairhope, and 2 teams who were tied before the evening, before that game got underway for the top spot in the TV Top 10 High School Football poll. Eric Wesson, as we said, is live at the Fairhope Stadium. And Eric, tell us what happened.
Ron, as you said, it was probably the game of the year in 4A play without a doubt. Fans are still hanging around. About 15,000 folks out here tonight. It was some kind of a ball game. The fans loved it. It was a fans' game. Great hitting, as we'll see in our tape. And, Ron, I'll tell you something. This game, these 2 teams have nothing to be ashamed of. Both of them are 1-2 without a doubt. Watch this hit right here. Oh, my God, this Wendell Hawthorne on a hit there for Fairhope. And this is the backup quarterback, Charles Smith. This is second quarter action. Smith, good spinning move there. He takes it down to the 2-yard line for Fairhope. That set up a touchdown, a 2-yard burst by the young man. He's a junior, Israel James, and Fairhope led 7-0 with 3:51 to go in the first half. Second half action, third quarter, there he is, Michael Pierce. What can you say? Round the right side, 33 yards. He can do it all. He played with a bruised thigh tonight, that is, and that made it 7-7. Pierce does it again. Fourth quarter, touchdown there. That was the game winner. 14-10, Murphy the winner right here in Fairhope. Like I said, nobody has anything to be ashamed of tonight. Both of these teams are great squads. Either one of them can go to the state playoffs and beat anybody up north, I personally think. But then again, you never know. Something had to break, and that's how it is. Murphy's a winner tonight, 14-10.
Okay, must have been a good game because Eric is still in shock. He's all shook up. Once again, it was Murphy 14, Fairhope 10. We started the evening off. They were tied for the top spot in the TV10 poll. 4 points separated up after tonight, so we were pretty close. And for the first time since way back on August 31st, the Fairhope Pirates are not the #1 team in the TV10 Top 10 High School Football poll. Murphy, tied for the top spot the last 7 weeks, has sole possession tonight after beating Fairhope 14-10 a week ago. The Pirates fall to second, and they have another challenge this Friday against third-ranked Foley. BC Rain and Theodore round out the top 5 in the final week of the season. Viger is 6th tonight with unbeaten St. Paul 7th. Williamson advances 2 spots to 8th. Baker and Citronelle are next in line. First, Top-ranked Murphy had 1 goal on its mind against Viger at Ladd Stadium tonight. They were trying to close out the season without a loss all year, trying to be the only unbeaten 4A team in the area. Quarterback Todd Abrams got the only score in the game with that 6-yard sweep to the right in the closing minutes of the opening quarter. 6-zip Panthers. They went on to win tonight, a close one, 7-0 over Viger. They wind up 10-0. Viger falls to 6-4, and Murphy will play Fairhope again next Friday night. That's the team they beat last Friday night. Unbeaten Murphy is still the #1 team in the TV10 Top 10 High School Football Poll tonight. The Panthers have held sole possession of that spot for 2 straight weeks. Foley and Fairhope trade positions tonight. The Pirates dropping to 3rd. BC Rain is still 4th, and Theodore 5th. The next 5 teams remain the same. Viger is 6th, unbeaten St. Paul 7th, Williamson 8th, Baker 9th, and Citronelle 10th.
Exciting football game tonight is still going on.
Yeah, it is. They're in overtime now. A barn burner at Ladd Stadium. Murphy was on top, then Fairhope, now Murphy, and as I said, they're in overtime. Eric Wesson is with a live eye on the sidelines. Eric, give us all the details.
Ron, Murphy has just scored the game-winning touchdown. I'm assuming that's the game-winning touchdown. We're trying to find out now. We haven't gotten an official word from the officials out here, but the scoreboard is showing 27-21. Murphy on top with no time on the clock. I figured we were in overtime. There's no time showing on the clock right now, but maybe this is it. Let's come back to the field right now and see what happens. Murphy is going for the extra point to make it 28-21, I believe it is, and then I think Fairhope will get one more chance. There's a fake. John Gates takes it in for Murphy. That makes it 29-21. Murphy is on top. I think Fairhope will get another shot at it. One more shot is all they'll get, and I think it's over from there. We'll come back to you later and give you another update. Ron, we're coming back to you.
Okay, Eric, amazing. That's the amazing part of live television. You go to Ladd Stadium, and they score the winning touchdown, and we'll be back with Eric before the end of the show to have more highlights and give you an update. And Murphy has just defeated Fairhope at Ladd Stadium, 29-27. Eric Wesson is there with a live eye. Eric, an exciting game.
Some kind of a game. This one is history. 29-27, as you said, Ron. You see the crowd on the field. Most of them, of course, as you would guess, Murphy people. And you can believe me, it's a cold night out here, but the Murphy fans are not cold. They move on to the semifinal or the quarterfinals of the state championship. They scored the touchdown. Both teams got a shot from the 10-yard line in overtime. Murphy scored, got the 2-point conversion, and Murphy stopped Fairhope. They got their touchdown, but they didn't get their 2-point conversion. 29-27, it's all over.
Unfortunately, everyone could not win, but at least we're batting 500 tonight.
Yeah, we are. We have good news for 2 groups of fans tonight and some bad news for the other 2. We had 4 teams alive in the playoff at 6, 2 left. Murphy has advanced into the semifinal round of the state 4A playoffs by beating Theodore at Ladd Stadium tonight. Panthers now just 2 victories away from a state title. Eric Wesson was at that game, and he has the rundown.
Much like last week, Murphy got a big lift from junior Kenny Allen. Late in the first quarter, Allen took this Theodore punt some 70 yards all the way down to the Bobcats' 7-yard line. Just 2 plays later, quarterback Todd Abrams scored on that patented Murphy keeper around the right side. 7-0 Murphy with 1:52 to go in the first quarter. On Theodore's next possession, the Bobcats mishandled a pitch out. Murphy's Tim Jordan recovered at the Theodore 12, and the Panthers were once again in business. 3 plays later, again, it's Todd Abrams, this time over the top from a yard out, 14-0, Murphy at the half. Theodore didn't get on the board until 8:40 to go in the game when backup quarterback David Ackridge nudged the ball over from the 1-yard line. Mike Connors from Murphy later added a field goal for the Panthers. Murphy wins it 17-6. The unbeaten Panthers now 12-0 advance to the state semifinals. Eric Wesson, Sports 10 at Ladd Stadium.
And the Panthers now play Jeff Davis of Montgomery next Friday night here in Mobile. Davis beat Enterprise tonight 14-10-2. To football, the Murphy Panthers are the champions of the TV10 Top 10 High School Football Poll this year. Murphy rolled through the regular season and 2 rounds of the playoffs unbeaten. Theodore wound up in 2nd place, followed by Foley and Fairhope, but there's not much difference between those 3 teams. They were all about even. BC Rain rounds out the top 5. St. Paul's